Lunch Money Lambert, Jeff Malott. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Yeah. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Kayak Bass Nation. Hey. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation, where we talk about fishing and competition. It's your boy Ox Pimpin', aka Ox Fishing. Don't come over here tripping. Hey, hope you enjoy the show. Jeff Malott, Lunch Money Lambert, Lego. Hey, welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Kayak Bass Nation. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Kayak Bass Nation. Hey, welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to KBN Live, back after a week off. What a relaxing week it was, right?
So good. Felt so good.
Yeah. How was your Thanksgiving, my friend?
Busy, ran all over the place. We had like 5 or 6 Thanksgivings to hit, so a lot of running around, but not too bad.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah. Same. We hosted it at our house. We didn't have to run anywhere, but he came here, which was great. Got to see all the kiddos. Little Roro crawled around with her for a little bit, so it was a good week.
She's getting a lot of hair on top of her head there.
Man, she's already passed me up.
Yeah, left you in the dust, boy.
Kind of left me in the dust. She's getting a lot of hair in her hair. She's doing great. So got to see all them. And other than that, no, it was a pretty laid back week around here. Good weather, not too cold. It was freezing the last few days, but
oh yeah,
we're back.
Cold out there.
We're back. So here we are.
I love it.
Yeah, we got. If you guys saw the announcement, we're talking all American Kayak Series tonight and the KBT guys in the second half of the show. You know, we've had the All-American on a couple of years. When they first launched, we thought they had big things, you know, in their future. And it's kind of been a kind of roller coaster the last few years. But Gene Campbell, a fellow podcaster from True Patriot Outfitters, has joined their team. He's trying to help change some things over there. They've changed some rules, changed some format. We're going to talk to them about that. And then the KBT, we talked about that a few weeks ago, Ryan, how KFL was kind of in your face, and then KBT has been kind of incognito. But they had what sounds like a pretty good year. So we're going to talk to Robert Brown. And then we're actually
I think I lost Jeff. So I'll be running the show from here on out. We're going to bring on the KBT.
What happened?
I don't know. You just bailed on me. I was like, man, I'll finish that speech, I guess.
Yeah. Whoa. Just disappeared. But anyway, yeah, that was wild. I don't know what happened. Robert Hart, Brown, and Dave Hart. Dave Hart confirmed late. So he's coming on with Robert. He's part of the team series as well. So he's going to come on with Robert.
Is Robert coming live from the toilet, or do we know?
I think those are in the old KFL.
Those days are long over. Gone. They've really revised things.
We're on that pro stuff now. No more of that. So
I like it. All right.
Yeah. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun show tonight. But as always, before we do that, we like to get into a few things. I'd like to talk about what you got on your body right there. What is that green apparatus that you have on?
It's a new PFD that I got in the mail. It's really nice. I feel like it floats well. It came with an autopilot 136.
Woo-wee. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Man.
So that's happening. You know, as you may know or may not know, I worked with Native for a long time, doing content. We did a lot of, new product release stuff as well as product development stuff. And I really miss that part of it and the involvement, you know, with a brand on kind of, you know, shaping their marketing, but also having some input on these new platforms that are coming out. So I've been on Lily for a long time, back and forth about how to improve the autopilot. And we struck up a deal for 2024. So I'm going to be partnering with Old Town for 2024.
Yeah. Welcome to the Familia, my friend.
Thank you. I got the boat out this afternoon. I like it. I'm not going to lie to you. Obviously, I want it to go a little faster. I don't think that's a secret. But I was really impressed with the stability. Um, I of course took it to the dam. They were generating, so I took it right over like in the boils, like in the current, spot locked out there. And it was fantastic. Like as far as being able to sit on a current seam or something in the wind, in case you can't tell by how red my face is, there's quite a bit of wind. It's like 44 degrees out there. Not my desired temperature for fishing. But overall, man, it was good. It took me like 15 minutes to set it up from the time that I unwrapped it to hitting the water was like 15 minutes. So as far as plug and play goes, I've been looking at a lot of different kayaks. I was considering the Titan X as well, but ultimately just the ease of use and my feet being dry led me to Old Town.
We got some comments. Bob Baylor said Hobie allowing motors next year. This confirms it, basically. No, that has nothing to do with it. Josh Evans says, what the hell? He's confused, flabbergasted. He don't know what's going on.
I tried to keep this under wraps. I think Jeff, obviously you knew, and Lily knew, and Steve-O knew. I think I think I told Dylan as well, because Dylan has one of these that I think he's trying to make a move himself.
Yeah, so there you go. Dylan. Old Town takeover. Now, there's a lot of good boats out there. I'm glad you came over. Well, I was going to say dipped your toe in the water, but there's no water on deck, so you don't have to do that.
Didn't have any of that.
But yeah, you mentioned it, man. I think for a guy like me, especially the plug and play ability of that, I'm not good at rigging stuff and trying to wire motors and batteries and all that. And to be able to just drop a battery under the seat, pop the motor in, and hit the water is pretty cool. Pretty cool.
That was the biggest thing, and Minn Kota has, in my opinion, a much better reputation. As far as just, consistent quality of trolling motors goes. I've owned quite a few on a lot of the big boats that I've had. I've got an Ultra X on my bass boat now, and this, it's the exact same functionality as far as the remote and things go. So I think it's going to be a pretty easy transition. I might strap a Newport on the back for pre-fishing.
Yeah, that's cool.
Put that out there.
That would be cool. And it's got, the sections back there, the reinforced area for the power poles. You can just slap one right on there and rock and roll,
Yep.
I think.
Oh, yeah.
Bob Baylor said he was going to buy a new yak this winter, but bought a minivan instead.
I saw that minivan, Bob. You're out there handing out free candy and shit.
Priorities.
Keep an eye on you.
Priorities, Bob. Only other thing I can think of that went down this last week, Ryan, or the last 2 weeks. I know you're not a YouTube watcher, but did you see anything about the Milliken video? Did you watch that?
Obviously, I saw a lot of the posts. I didn't actually take the time to watch the video because I don't really care what he has to say. But
I've never been a fan. I've never been a fan of Milliken. I don't even think I was subbed to his channel, but I had to go watch it. And actually, I thought the video was great. Basically, just talking about the venture capitalist corporate takeover of fishing in general and how that changes the landscape of things, and people don't understand what that has done to not only sponsored anglers, but the consumers themselves, as it has affected the quality of products all the way down the line. So good video.
I read some of the comments kind of referring to more of these, everything's a big purchasing group now, like GSM or Pure, like they're snatching up all these brands and putting them under one umbrella. And what that does is controls a much bigger portion of the market, but also it controls a huge portion of anglers' availability to marketing dollars, where it was these individual companies able to make their own decisions and pay who they wanted to. Now I feel like it's probably a much more volatile landscape because they can just turn around and say, all right, we're cutting the whole team this year. We'll start from scratch. Like,
yeah,
that's gonna be tough.
And anyone that's ever worked in a corporate environment, period, outside of fishing, that once you get involved with a larger entity like that, they're looking at bottom line and numbers. They're not looking at your name or anything like that. They're just looking at numbers, and you get caught up in the wash with that too. I
feel like you lose that personal relationship with those kind of things. That's one thing that I really love about some of these companies that I work with is like, I've got the VP's number or the marketing director, whoever, and we're in constant contact. We talk all the time just to keep up with how the sport's, shaping up, like what's happening, what the changes are, and they take an interest in that. I think the bigger it gets, the kind of more detached they are from that side of it.
Yeah, one of the things he said is talking to other now elite anglers, he's an elite angler, is people like throw their hands up and like, I don't even know who to talk to anymore.
Yeah,
I mean, it's so big, it's so spread out. You can't pick up the phone and call like you used to. It's a little bit different. So yeah, wild times out there. One more thing in the comments I'm seeing, what about California anglers not getting paid? What do we know about all that,
Our DMs seem to know a lot about it, from on the KBN DMs, our personal DMs. Apparently, we've talked about this before. I think I brought it up, a month ago, maybe. Some guys reaching out, complaining that their Slay Nation tournament hasn't been paid, and it goes back to September from what I've read. I don't know. I mean, I don't have an explanation for it. I've talked to Frank himself about it. That's the first person I reached out to, when we got this information. I don't know what the holdup is. I don't, I don't support not paying people that won money. So that's as point blank as I can put it. So if you're running a tournament, somebody wins money, pay them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cut and dry.
Back when they had the fallout with that TD out there, I talked to Frank on the phone about some of those details, and it sounded like he was trying to right the ship. I'm going to hope there's some sort of error here, because it seems like, from what I've talked to him on the phone, I like Frank, seems like an all right guy, but not paying anglers is a zero. That's full stop. That's a zero sum deal.
He had said that it was something to do with California PayPal. I don't know, at that time, I'm not sure what the hurdle is. I don't claim to know, what the problem is. I know what is being talked about, publicly posted everywhere. And I think Frank is a stand-up guy, from all the interactions that I've had with him. So I don't know what the full story is here. And I mean, maybe we need to have Frank on for an episode and figure out what's going on.
Yeah. I'd like to,
ultimately we've seen this, from different organizations over the years. Like, you got to pay people.
Yeah, David Morris is saying, he's saying Frank is full of excuses. He's not paying English. Frank's an avid watcher of the show. Wish he was in the comments and could clear this up, or send me a message or something, because I'm just hearing about all this. But hopefully you can get some resolution out there, because if you fished a tournament and you won money, pay those people.
Yep.
Pay that man or woman or whatever out there. Pay them.
Or whatever.
Pay them.
California, baby. You never know.
Pay them. Yeah, pay those humans out there. All right. So with that said, let's shout out the sponsors and we'll get Gene in here. He's been listening to us yabber on for too long.
Let's do it.
Of course, show's presented by Eco Fishing Shop. We appreciate them. EcoFishingShop.com. I put a link on the actual Facebook page today. I shared one of their deals. They're having a big Cyber Monday sale still. A lot of percents off of a lot of things. So click over there, go to EcoFishingShop.com and figure that out. ProGuide Lithium. I've seen a lot of new posts from them over on their Facebook page. I got a lot of new products moving and shaking. So if you needed a new battery as we approach 2024, look at ProGuide Lithium.
They're running a big sale right now too, Black Friday sale. And I think it's through December, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
So it's still going after Black Friday. So there you go. ProGuide Lithium. And more and more lithium batteries keep popping up. I mean, these black boxes, and they slap a sticker on it from who knows where. So make sure you go with there's some good reputable companies out there besides ProGuide. Of course, do your research, but ProGuide, you will not go wrong going with them. So give them.
And if you haven't listened to that episode where we had one of the owning members of ProGuide on to break down lithium batteries and what all goes into them, that's a fantastic episode to help you kind of narrow down what you're looking for.
Yeah. And then of course, Bangtail Whiskey, the drink of choice. Revo, Z-Man, Gil, and Seagar are partners of the show. We usually do giveaways with them, but tonight we're not doing a giveaway with any of those. We're doing a giveaway with Yak Addicts, Ryan, because Yak Addicts has their own Black Friday sale or Cyber Monday.
Yeah, half off on the Yak Addicts site, yakaddictsgear.com, whatever you want. We got KBN hats and shirts on there. Also, this is coming up. I just talked to our sweatshirt lady. We're going to do a line of hoodies. So we'll have a new hoodie up that we're going to do pre-orders on for the winter season.
There you go. I got last year's on right tonight. See there?
I know. I saw that. I was looking for mine, actually.
Yeah. All right. With that said, let's get Gene in here. Talk a little bit of All-American Kayak Series. Gene, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing well, man. Thanks. Thank to both of you guys for having me on.
We've got one rule here. You can't come in here with a better sounding mic than us. I don't like that.
I was going to ask what kind of mic. I was going to ask what kind of mic that was. That's exactly my first question.
Nothing real special, man. Just that Yeti.
All right. It's good.
Just got to tweak the settings.
That's why.
Yeah, man. So we wanted to have you on. All-American's been trying to build the last few years, right? They've kind of been up and down, had some decent events attendance-wise, and it's tailed off a little bit this year towards the end. I traded some messages with you. I got your press release, things like that. You guys are trying to turn the ship a little bit and not rebuild, but build it even bigger going into 24. I know you made some changes. So give us a little bit about 2023, what the look back on that, and then what we're looking for in 24.
Yeah, man. So, after first and foremost, Josh Booth has built something with the All American Kayak Series. He and his team with Troy and Tyler in the past, and now I'm stepping in instead of so Tyler can step back and spend more time with family and such. And they have really built something here that quite frankly is something I believed in. I fished it for the couple of years prior to getting involved with these guys. And what the All American Kayak Series basically stands for is that of providing a national fishing scene to the flyover states of the U.S. There's a lot of area in the U.S. that the big dance doesn't go to. And I think in 23, what we discovered, one of the mantras is go to really solid fisheries. Josh has always wanted to make sure. Josh is an angler's angler. He knows fishing, from competition to weekend stuff. So he's always tried to make sure to put the field in good fisheries. And to that point, he has absolutely accomplished that. One of the things that we saw, I think, across the industry after talking to Steve and hearing AJ speak about this, everybody agreed we saw the industry saw a slowdown this year, right? I mean, and especially on tournament trail stuff. That coupled with even more and more local and regional stuff popping up, it really just kind of, I think, hit those trails that are out there that kind of cover wider areas. We fish from northern Wisconsin all the way to Texas. We try to for the most part, we stay west of the Mississippi, and just run right down through the center of the nation there. But we had that taking place in the industry, along with we had some adjustments that were made that, quite frankly, for lack of a better term, just were not very popular. And those adjustments, it stung us. It hit hard. Our first year, or not our first year, but our second year in 22, our attendance was right where you'd expect a 1 or 2 year old series to be. 23, we took a dip. We most certainly did. Josh Booth is, like I said, he is pretty much my Obi-Wan Kenobi when it comes to this. Troy, Josh, and I sat down and we just had a come to Jesus meeting with living. And Josh said this, just coming to grips with who we are. We don't want to compete against Bass and Hobie. Okay. We know we're the little guy on the block, and we have no desire to try to knock Bass off as the, kayak national deal there. We have no desire to try to go compete against Hobie and those guys. They are who they are. And if people want to fish those series, they're going to go fish those series for those reasons. We're not a professional series, and we want to conduct ourselves as such. We are a national series, and we have a reputation for solid competition, solid integrity, and great payouts. Our series pays out as high as any other series out there when it comes to percentages that we kick back to the anglers. And so that was really what we wanted to carry forward coming into this next season, was just get comfy in our own skin, man, and work with Bass. Josh went to great lengths to talk to AJ, talk to Steve Owens, to make sure that our schedules didn't conflict. And if they did, if it was inevitable, we wanted to be way away from them, so that it was like, we're not pulling from them, they're not pulling from us, And we've said this before, hey man, if you're going to fish a Hobie Boss, you're going to go fish a Hobie Boss regardless, right? And so that was, when you get comfortable like that, and you start to try to realize where you want to be with this stuff, it makes it a lot easier to make adjustments to the series and start listening to anglers, and really pay attention to what the core is saying, out there. Obviously, it's a pretty complex set of issues on how you put it all together, but really what it boils down to is we had goals coming into this. Number one, make it easier to compete. That was the thing. We didn't want to make it harder, kind of like what we did last year. We want to make this easier for guys to be able to take a little bit of PTO, jump in a national deal where they got a shot at a great payday, and come fish with us on a great fishery. And so we realized any adjustments, let's make it easier. We want to be flexible. understand and appreciate these anglers' investment in this stuff. I mean, we've all done it. We all travel. We know the, minimum $1,000 if you're going to make a run, somewhere type deal. Keep up with the great fisheries. That was the other piece, is make sure we're going to good bodies of water and keep moving forward with high competition, and the integrity piece there. Much like what you're talking about there, is making sure Josh has a fail-proof system in place. That money comes in, that money goes out.
Imagine that.
Right?
It's crazy.
We don't have funky math involved with the All-American. It's very simple. There's one pot where that money goes, and that's where that money comes out of. Very simple. So, but yeah, that was really what our whole purpose was with this 23. We learned, we listened, and we're going to continue to learn. We're going to continue to listen. And it's like I said, the work that Troy Anke has done behind the scenes can't be said enough to help really put a lot of the stuff together. Josh, of course, with his experience, and making sure that we get where we're at. All I'm trying to bring to the field is maybe just a different view from a business side. One of the pieces that we're really going to do is, when we get to that part of the discussion, is the improvements of, when you're a national series, there's a couple things you should be doing. You know what I mean? And so that's, you want to, be the part, you got to look like the part and conduct as such. And it all goes right to the heart of making it more entertaining for the anglers. Make this something they're going to remember to do, because maybe some of them are only going to get to do one, time off on jobs, man. That is not easy to do these days.
Are you going to have any kind of dancers at weigh-in? Have you thought about that?
You never know what you're going to find at the Classic, man. That's
all right. That's fair.
That's Josh Booth once again. Right. He's not here to defend himself.
So what are some of the changes that you're making? Obviously, I think the last year's format started on Fridays, correct?
Yep.
Are you still doing 2 days? Or are you going back to just the traditional weekend, Saturday, Sunday? What's the plan there?
Yeah. So the Friday, Saturday deal was really done with the aspect of trying to give guys a little bit better so they could get driving home on Sunday. But the way it kind of worked out, man, I'll tell you, it's kind of funny. Those folks that enjoyed it loved it, the Friday, Saturday thing. Those folks that didn't care still showed up. But those folks that didn't like it, they just said deuces, and they checked out, man. They just did not come, with it.
And
so,
I can see that though. Like you know, when you fish these bigger tournament trails and you go to these different locations, even if you got a 200 angler field or whatever, you'll have 40 or so that are in early. Like they're running around all week doing whatever. But the majority, I feel like, arrives on Thursday night. They pre-fish Friday, and then the tournament Saturday, Sunday. So you're kind of, forcing people's hand to take an extra day off work, and it's different when you feel like you have to. Like practice, you twist your own arm because you want to. But when you tell somebody they have to just to fish the tournament, I mean, it's just like telling somebody to do anything else.
Right.
That doesn't translate well, I don't think.
Yeah, no, you're right. And that's regardless of what we felt about it, we had to listen to the masses out there, the core, the people that are going to be fishing these things. And so, yeah, we are going to be adjusting and going back to Saturday, Sunday. The point that, however, about wanting to help the weekend warrior anglers, because that's one of the cool things about our field, is we have a really diverse field of weekend warriors to hardcore dedicated traveling anglers, right? You're going to fish against those hooks, from that wide range. And for the locals, especially, one of the things we wanted to make sure of, those anglers that are maybe traveling, say 4 to 8 hours, we wanted to make sure that we could still do something to help get them back by Sunday evening, if at all possible. So what Josh come up with here, which I think is a brilliant take on this, is day one will be normal Saturday, the normal time takeoff, lines in, lines out. Day two, we're going to go normal takeoff, but we're going to end at noon. So it's about a 2/3 of the day. We're going to cut off a couple hours on the top. And the purpose of that is solely in the fact of being able to allow anglers to be able to come to the awards, which is a big piece. We want guys coming to the awards. And at that point, get back on the road and still make it home, in time. So that was what we thought that was going to be the best of, the balancing act there, where you still have 2 days of competition that you're going to get to do. The second one is it's going to get somewhat of a nail biter coming down to it.
Now I looked at some of your rules. Did I see right that it's 10 fish?
Yes, sir.
A 10 fish, I'm going to call it a rolling limit, to where it's 10 fish combined over 2 days, not 5 and 5. This
is probably the biggest adjustment. And let me preface this by saying one of the other areas that I am going to help bring to the field on this, Josh and I are going to work together to make this happen. After every event, we're going to send out a survey to the registered anglers that competed, and we want to get their feedback. If we determine that something just is not, going over well, and guys don't like it, they don't want to see it anymore, we're not beyond making adjustments to make sure that this trail, is exactly what guys want, especially when it's something like that. But at the end of the day, we're excited about this. And then we found out also, after Josh had come up with this brainstorm here, Drew Gregory is actually doing the same thing with his adventure kayak fishing. They're going to do a very similar thing. And yeah, it's a 10 fish concept. From the start of day one till noon is when you have your chance to score your 10 best fish. So if you squawk on day one, dude, day two, you could be sitting in 60th place. And if you can get on them, if you can find a nest of them, you could find yourself in the money, there from that deal, or fighting for a chance. In my opinion, the first time we see a big power move like that take place, I think it's going to create some excitement. Again, I know there's guys that, want the 5 and 5 traditional. We understand that. But when you look at the same breath that we're trying to say is that we're not Bass, we're not Hobie. If that is what you deem as a worthwhile traveling piece, then there's options out there. We want to make this exciting. We want to make this worthwhile. And this is something that's going to separate us. 10 fish concept. We're going to see how it works, and we'll go from there.
I think different works. I mean, look at the Native Series. It's different. And, they've nothing but success. Don't you guys do something like that, Ryan? Tennessee State?
So
a combined days or something?
Yeah. So our state championship for the past, I think 4 years now, we've done it where you fish maybe 5 years, where you fish the afternoon. So everybody gets in on a Friday. You do a captain's meeting at like noon on a Friday. You fish Friday afternoon, just, the last, I think it's 5 hours, 4.5, 5 hours on Friday. And then you get the full day on Saturday, just normal tournament hours. You don't do anything Saturday. There's no awards, nothing. We show up and do awards on Sunday morning. And that way everybody gets to hang out Saturday night, let loose, have a good time, fellowship with each other, and then come in and get back to business on Sunday. We're done by 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and everybody goes home.
Yeah, I like it.
But we only do it once a year.
Yeah.
So it's a state championship. So people, they plan accordingly for that.
Well, I like it's All American in reverse. It's a similar concept, right? Similar concept.
Yeah.
What has been the feedback from those changes so far? I mean, I know you haven't had a tournament with the new rules yet, but from the anglers that are on the group page and have fished the tournaments, what's the feedback been so far?
So there is, as expected, there's a small handful that are looking at us with some lifted up, eyebrows. They're not totally sure what to think about it, which that's cool. You know what? I'm from a different generation, man, where you can disagree and still be friends.
Wow.
And I know it's weird, right?
No.
And
Jeff and I just became friends when I got this old time. Like just today.
Yeah.
Today at noon,
I witnessed
we officially became friends. Yeah.
It's one of those things that we want to hear, opinions on this, so sort of thing. Overall, though, there's no question about it. The reception has been, people are excited. I think there's, a lot of unknown, with it right now, which is expected. And, I trust in the fact that Josh will have this, thing running like a, well-greased machine. We're working out all the details. He'll be the guy, back in, at Toronto on the instant replay booth there, watching everything for us and putting it all together.
I was like, Toronto.
That's right.
Toronto?
That's right.
Exiled him, sent him to Canada.
That's NHL, a little hockey reference there. Sorry.
Your
But yeah,
Colorado's showing, Gene. Stop.
Go
it.
Preds.
that's
Go
right.
Preds, baby.
But yeah, man, it's overall, I think the reception's been really good. People are excited to see it come through. Again, I want there to be some people that maybe aren't 100% on board with it, as long as they're willing to be open-minded, give it a shot, and
You
then
can't
give your
please everybody. So
give your
just
honest
go ahead-
feedback.
Yeah, go,
You
go
know what I
ahead
mean?
and write that off. Like, you're not going to make everybody happy anyway.
Sure.
I don't see the disadvantage to that 10 fish format in 2 days. I don't see there being an unfair advantage to anyone in that.
Right.
Other than everyone, if you're if you can't catch 10 fish.
I'd
the
like
only
to,
thing.
yeah, I'd like to ask a question for the for all the sandbaggers out there. Can I hold my day one fish all the way until the next day?
That's a really good question, man. And now that that's recorded, I'm going to bring that up to Josh and go, hey, what about this?
Yeah.
Because, technically speaking, that's, I guess just on a face value. Yeah, I think you could. I don't know.
There'll
Man,
probably be a lines out on day one. I would think that's how we do it in our state championship.
Yeah.
Lines out day one, submission. Like, you have an hour after lines out to be submitted, but the leaderboard's live all through. Like, we never turn the leaderboard off until the end of day two is how we do it.
Yeah. And that's the cool piece is that, literally if we do have a blackout period, which that's still up in the air, if we black out for the last hour or whatever, literally, man, for the first time, in my opinion, there's going to be just a pile of people not knowing what's about to go down, right?
Yeah.
Where normally you kind of have a gut feeling on how it unfolded with that. So
Sometimes I black out for the last hour on here, and it's only an hour-long podcast. So
I was gonna say you a lot of times you think you have a good feeling, and then your buddy Jordan Marshall doesn't win again. That's what happens.
Oh man, I was driving so fast. Anyway,
Ryan drove multi-states over because we thought it was in the bag. And,
dude, I was
there
so
you go.
excited, man. I was planning the night out.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Hey,
He'll
whatever.
get there.
It happens.
He'll get them next year.
Yeah.
That's what I said last year too.
Yeah. So, Gene, sell us real quick. Sell some people watching. We've got a good amount. We got over 100 folks live right now that I can see. I don't know how many rumblers or whatever else we got going on Twitter, but whoever's watching, sell them on why they should give this new format, revamped format, a shot with All American Series.
At the end of the day, there's a lot of options to go fish. If you're wanting to test the waters on against a high caliber but yet relaxed atmosphere, level of anglers, the All American Kayak Series has a reputation of, like I said, of integrity and high competition. We go to great fisheries, a lot of bucket list. Our schedule this year is including Lake Okoboji. If we're going to start it off at Lake of the Ozarks bucket list, Okoboji's in
Coon King is in
Bassmasters.
the comments asking about Okoboji now. I think that's where he's going to park his van for the year.
In Bassmaster put Okoboji, I want to say top 10. It was one of the top 10 bass lakes in the country. Kentucky Lake, it's resurging. It's on the way back.
They still running a sale on Kentucky Lake.
A sale?
Jay Wallen swears, Ryan.
Yeah.
Jay swears at the back, Ryan. He swears.
They'll write you 2 checks to get you to come to Kentucky Lake.
Minocqua, we're going back up there. A little bit different area, but still, relatively the same. That is legendary smallmouth up there. La Crosse, of course, and then Lake Washita at the
Wachita. That's old Wachita there, man.
Ryan, Washita.
Hey, I'll come back for that one.
That's right. And then our Open Championship we'll have listed there at Table Rock. So it's great fisheries where we're going, and there was a lot of time and effort put into what time we were going to these locations to make sure that we were going to see some decent stuff. Locations, improved awards, man, that's going to be a big deal. We're working now closer with more sponsors, event sponsors, series sponsors. We're talking in talks as we speak to secure a lot of this. We're actually putting up host hotel campgrounds to offer anglers discounts when they're coming into town. We're also looking at host tackle shops when it's appropriate. And we have really our focus is to support the local communities as much as we can, man. And if we can offer the anglers something special when they're coming in, that, it's just a win-win situation all the way across the board. We have no membership required to compete. That's something we took away. No longer do you need a membership, so you can show up, register, and fish. Now, if you want Angler of the Year points, you got to be a member. We reduced the cost down on that to make it a little bit easier as well. And then that Open Championship, man, the top 25 in AOY are getting into that thing entry free. We're going to cover the cost going into that for top 25, and anybody else can join up and come down to Table Rock, which is, if you haven't fished Table Rock, you need to get there for sure.
A lot of fun. Beautiful. Fun area too. Yeah. One little piece of unsolicited advice for you, Gene. If you'd like to get these people from the South to come to some of these, you got to not pick lakes they can't pronounce. Some of these.
Yeah, Wachita was hard enough for me, man. I'm sounding that one out.
And that's one of the things with choosing lakes, man, is that we try to, obviously this is a business, and we want to be here for the long haul. So, you mentioned Kentucky Lake for sure, but at the same time, Kentucky also puts us, that's a rarity that we step on the east side of the Mississippi, but no one was going there, and it's really rising. And we're hoping to be able to give an opportunity, to pull up some Tennessee, Georgia, Atlanta, pull up some Alabama, get some guys to jump up there and join in with us.
If you're taking one off the Tennessee River chain, I'll give you Kentucky Lake. You can have that one. Now fly overstate the hell out of that one.
That's now owned by the Midwest. You heard it here first.
You can take. I'll sign it off. As a matter of fact, everything west of Kentucky Lake in Tennessee, you can have. You can annex it and make it part of your own little nation out there.
The hardest part with that place is
boundaries.
I'll tell you, don't go too small on the boundaries. I know Kentucky Lake is huge, but fish are scarce. So give people enough room to run all over hell trying to find 10 of them in 2 days.
Damn, Todd just threw a Real Foot Lake reference in the comments.
God, get out of here, Todd. We're past that now.
I got a trophy from Real Foot.
That was back when Conrad Benetti fished.
That's right.
Wow. Talked all that shit, went out there and put up a 0.
My man down there catching snook and tarpon now. He didn't quit the game.
Proud of him.
Well, Gene, we got the KBT guys waiting. We don't want to keep them too much longer, but I appreciate you coming on the first half of the show. I like what I heard from you tonight. I think a lot of people watching did. What do you think, Ryan? All American going places?
I mean, I think, making adjustments is the key thing. Like we witnessed it with bass. They took a huge downturn and made some changes and bounced back to be the biggest. So I think you have to make adjustments, and I think, leadership is the key to that. So I'm glad you're on board, Gene. I think you guys are definitely moving in the right direction, and, hopefully you have a huge 2024.
Well, I appreciate it, man. We appreciate the coverage out there and the kind words. We'll keep on keeping on and see what comes out of it.
Can't wait to have some winners on.
Well, awesome. Fight out here, man. Have a good night.
Tight lines, guys.
Mm-hmm. See ya.
Gene Campbell, everybody. That was good, man. I like Gene.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can tell he's a podcaster, too.
Yeah, he's making moves over there.
With it.
All right. The Kayak Bass Team Series guys are waiting. They've been very patient with us. Robert, Dave. Hey, Rob, Dave, thank you. Thank you for hanging out, waiting on us there. But from one unique concept to another. We're talking KBT.
Dave Hart could be Adam Fillmore's brother, I think. I think we could interchange those. I probably like
Adam and I finished first and second in a Queen City win a couple weeks ago. He said the same thing. He's like, man,
I like you better than Adam, and I haven't even talked to you yet. So,
well, I'll sell that tandem kayak for us, man, that I got for us.
Hey, Joe Max said we were afraid to post the tough questions. Did I miss something, Ryan? I want to ask that if I messed up. I'll go back and try to find it. I don't know, Joe.
Sorry, guys, hold on. Just say. Oh yeah, I see it. If you're not trying to grow to be the biggest and you're behind the 8 ball.
If that wasn't it, repost your question. We'll get to it. Our apologies, Joe.
I mean, that was more like a statement than a question.
Yeah, it really was.
It's okay. There was another one I saw I had starred somewhere.
Yeah, I unstarred it. My bad.
Did you? Okay, that's fine. So
I got a new mouse, and this thing's acting all kinds of wild. I think it's what kicked me out of the stream earlier. I don't know what I'm doing.
It's wild with his mouth. Robert, how you doing, man? You doing all right?
Man, I'm holding it down. I can't complain.
The champ.
Do you have pants on right now?
I mean, well, the show will tell. The show will tell.
He's going to ask the tough questions for you, buddy.
I love it. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, I thought that we'd be done forgot about that already.
No,
right?
hell no. I got that saved. I got that.
That made the KFL 30 for 30, man. That picture. That was beautiful.
That was probably one of the more artistic expressions I've seen on this page, Jeff. You did fantastic with that one.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. You know what they say, man. Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
There's a reason they don't make it cheap.
Yeah.
Well, fellas, we appreciate you guys taking the time to come talk a little Kayak Bass Team Series this year. Ryan and I have said this a couple times now. The KFL kind of came in, rose like a phoenix, and then kind of flamed out due to a lot of different factors. We don't even have to get into that. But it was everywhere. You could not see it, right? Well, the KBT this year
had 30 million viewers, Jeff. How the hell could you miss it?
I know. But the KBT seemed to kind of come in this year and put its head down and kind of do its thing and just fish and try to get this thing right. And you didn't unless you were really looking, you didn't see it as much. It wasn't as in your face. Is that a fair statement?
I think it is for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, somebody, Greg was a boisterous guy, so he put it out there.
Yes.
I think, and we talked about this, even when KBT was, or whatever, what was it? KFL was going on. Whatever it was. But we talked about the concept of the team fishing. Like, the concept was great. Like, I think that definitely offers people something different than just, every other 5-fish derby day. I think the concept was great, but I like what you guys have done with this, especially kind of building the product before you're, putting it out everywhere. I think that's the trick, in my opinion.
Yeah. So give us a look back on the first year of this new league. Give us a look back on what you guys went well, what you did different. Just give us an overall look back on 23.
Oh, Dave, you can take the lead on that, man.
Well, I think when you look back, things kind of went kaput in January of last year, and we basically had 2 months. Who's in, who's out? How can we do this? And know that the focus just was on the concept, the team concept. It worked. People enjoyed it. Despite the noise at the end of the day, that's why we pulled it together. So that's we had 14 teams, and by May 6th we were fishing. And that's what the focus was. Let's fish. Let's have each other's backs. Let's know it's not going to be perfect. It's certainly going to be some uphill battles, and in the end of it, like, it worked. I think some of the big changes we made. We went to regional representation, so all of the teams, the owners, kind of rolled up to a regional rep. Tried to streamline some of the issues or questions or responsibilities, whatever it was. That was one big change. I think another big change that was successful that a lot of guys, gave positive feedback was, we didn't do a 1 versus 1. Like, in that concept, one team was going home with nothing every week. We fished, we did make some concessions, like some of the regions, because of the short timing. Like, they said, we can't travel. We can't get our team sponsors in line. So we need to fish kind of home bodies of water. That's fine. Us in the East region, I fished with Rob and his team and another Virginia team. We fished the same bodies of water. So it was 3 teams, same body of water, and it was points based. So even if you showed up, you fished, you had a good time, you got points that went towards your end of the season rankings, and then the winner did get a weekly payout. That was another big change. But you're right. We wanted to kind of just focus on the fishing, keep the concept alive. And I think we were real successful in that. Shout out to the privateers. We had a championship event early November on Guntersville. They pulled it off. Competition was fierce throughout. Really, of all 14 teams, the majority showed up and showed out. Every team had wins under their belt for the most part. So the competition was there, the camaraderie was there, the teamwork was there, and that's what it was for us, is keep that going.
I think that change in the payouts per tournament, that, obviously Marshall and Ewing both fished it last year, and that was one of the things I'm like, where's your ROI, on this week? Like, yeah, you went down and won, whatever, but you go down and, spend $300, $500, $800 going down to fish the thing. Like, where, just banking on the end of the year, where's your ROI on it? Like, that's, ultimately, I know we're all fishing for fun, whatever, but it's money at the end of the day. Like, you got to try to make it balance a little bit, or you're just, lighting it on fire.
And, I'll actually say thank you to KBN for that, because a lot of the heckling we got about KFL in the format in the KFL about where the ROI is, I think that went into why we made that change to where, the team that won that match gets a paycheck.
Yeah. And I think you should. I mean, it doesn't have to be huge, but at least offset gas money or travel costs or something just to make, to make it make sense.
Fish for pink slips, baby.
Yeah. Well, and it was huge last year because, there's a lot of teams that fished, 100% out of their pocket. Like, we were lucky enough on our team, we had some sponsor money, in the bank a little bit. It wasn't a ton. But, yeah, that money's got to go to your operational costs, whether it's for that event or, stockpile it for the next year or the next year's dues and all that. So it's something,
Going into 24, any format changes to what you did this year? Any tweaks coming? And frankly, maybe for folks that don't know, kind of tell us about the setup. Brad Case is in the comments talking about how many on a team, how many fish per match, things like that. So go over the basics and then any changes that might be coming.
All right. Well, each team has a lot of 10 guys on the team, right? In the regular season match or regular season tournaments is going to be 4v4. And then the championship was 6 versus 6. And the main reason for that was, you get down to the championship, we wanted to try to give more players from the team the opportunity to go down and contribute, vice just those 4 that usually fish, during the regular season matchups. It's best.
How many fish are counted per team in a regular season match?
10 fish? It's 10 fish for the regular season matches as well as the championship.
Okay.
Is there an allotment of fish per angler, or can one carry the whole team if he's hot?
One can carry the whole team if he's hot, man.
Ask Ray Montez.
That's why they had Ewing and Marshall on that.
But that was what was great about it, man. Because, we've talked about the team format or whatever, and what's great about it. But just for our season as the privateers, we had 3 different matches where one guy, set himself apart and really pulled us through for the win for that one match, and, the next match he might not do so well, but then the next guy picks him up, so that was pretty cool, man.
I know my guys here in Central Arkansas, Garrett, Corey, those guys down in Central, the Arkansas Hogs team, they're big fans. They love the format. They pumped it up to me. They love the format. So I know those guys well enough to know that they wouldn't do it if it wasn't worth doing. I have always thought, since I saw this debut with you guys, and this is once again unsolicited advice from me, it would be cool if part of the day had a match play format like the Ryder Cup, and then the second half of the day was wide open. Have y'all ever considered that?
It's a lot of number crunching. We don't have a statistician yet.
All right. A 1v1 matched up, however you want to match them up, and then the second half. I don't know how you would do that. It just sounds cool to me.
That'd be cool.
I like the 1v1 concept. I don't know how. I'm sure Dwayne would have to spend $11,000 on programming to have that written up where you could set
Chat GPT that shit, Dwayne. Come on.
Yeah,
he spent enough on us as it is. I know that. Shout out to Dwayne. He did awesome.
That would be a neat concept. What's the strategy like going into these tournaments? Do you have say you got a big swim bait guy, do you put somebody on a number spot and then hey man, you just go out and throw this giant swim bait all day and try to get a kicker? How do you break it up as far as different people's fishing strengths?
I can tell you how we did it for the championship. Based off how everybody did on practice, me and David Miller, we were on big fish on a punching bite, punching mats. Mm-hmm. And we were okay, man, we're just gonna go, we're gonna go for the big fish. We want, you two guys to go and try to get us a quick limit, get us numbers, right? And so it's for each tournament is different, and it's different for whatever lake you're on. Some lakes don't have those those 20-inch plus fish in high numbers. So just like when we fished Heiko, David, Dave, you could talk about the strategy on Heiko,
Yeah, so Heiko, those guys fish it now. It's a lake near to me, and yeah, big fish are hard to come by. You're going to get maybe one a team if you're lucky, and that's being a 20-inch better. That strategy on that lake, it's all about averages, and I think any lake, you got to dictate what the lake tells you. Another lake we fished down the road here, McIntosh. It's a big bass factory. Rob Brown hates it. For various reasons, but
very true.
Everybody else loves it, and it's one of those things. We fished it kind of Spawn was late here. Fish were kind of in all three phases, and that lake. What's cool about the team format too is like we all pick home lakes, right? Like our team picked 2, Rob's team picked 2 lakes, and then the other Virginia team picked 2 lakes. You got to be pretty confident in your home lakes, and we got our butts handed to us on Macintosh. So it's one of those things you gotta buck up and show up, or you're gonna get destroyed. So, but yeah, it's you gotta let the lake dictate it. It's like any other tournament. You gotta just feel it out.
Of course, Sean loves Macintosh.
Yeah, he's buying property down here apparently.
How did y'all break up the regions this year? Like, who was in what region proximity wise? Like, hey, if people wanted to fish this, how far are they looking at having to travel for regular season games?
For last year or this upcoming year? Because 2 answers. I'll go last year first.
I'm calling them matches now, sir.
Okay, sorry, matches.
Matches, yeah. So,
all right, sorry.
So last year,
I was so happy. That was my favorite thing that changed. But anyway, go ahead.
Well, last year, we kind of had an idea of the teams that were, all in originally, and then some of those teams peeled off. So, okay, what are we left with? For us in the East region, it was us and 2 Virginia teams. So it made sense. Like we would fish the same bodies of water. We're roughly 4 hours apart. So it was no big deal. Whereas like the North region, you had a bunch of guys in that Oklahoma, Arkansas area, and then you had a team out of Chicago area. How's that going to work? Well, yeah. That's where they conceded and say, hey, well, we'll agree to fish home bodies of water. That's just how it's going to have to be for 2023. And then they did meet, I think, on 1 or 2 occasions and fish the same bodies of water. So,
I get it. So it's kind of like an online deal almost.
Yeah, it had to be.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't ideal, but that was one of those concessions we had to make last year. Again, we
got
had
this graphic. If this helps explain that, I snatched this off y'all's page. The black pins, is that current teams? Reds where you're looking to put new ones.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? Okay.
Right. Yeah.
So there you go.
So,
Ryan. That kind of
I got you. Right. That's what I was wondering is like when you said 14 teams, I'm like 14 teams spread around the country is not probably not many of them are going to be close to each other. I got it.
We're kind of opposite of Gene's thing. We're east of the Mississippi.
Look at Florida. It's like college football down there. They got all the teams down there.
Yeah, no kidding, man. Florida loves it.
I think Dave, correct me if I'm wrong, but it kind of worked out to where that region was really the only one that needed to do that format.
Yeah, primarily because the Southeast guys, Florida, South Georgia, those all fish together. We all fish together. I think the South the South region may have had a couple events like that because they had to put Alabama, kind of in a couple places. But I think they did a split scenario, a couple home lakes, a couple together.
So that was a big plus for me for one of the big changes we made this year. Man, was everybody in the region, pretty much everybody in the region fishes the same body of water against each other. So if it was like Norfolk's home lake, we had to fish one of the lakes we picked as our home lake, and all 3 teams in the region would be on that lake and we fish against each other. And that made it easier on us for traveling, because I think last season KFL, we had to go, I went to Pennsylvania to go against the Pennsylvania team. I went to Florida. That traveling gets a little rough. Yeah. A little pricey.
Oh yeah, for sure. Brad posted those red pins, Jeff. That's where a team's needed.
Okay. He said he's working on Texas down there, he says.
Yeah, I see that. These Florida boys are going back.
We can operate, but yeah, we're trying to get some more up north for sure.
We got Florida hooligans and Southern Slayers claiming Florida down there. I feel like there's a bunch of dudes in squatted trucks and white sunglasses about to pull up on each other. they're about to get to it, man, out in the Target parking lot.
The squatted trucks, isn't that Dave's neck of the woods?
The Carolina squat, baby.
Yeah, man.
They all moved to Florida. Don't even cross the state line down there. You'll see them everywhere.
Wow. We got some good comments coming in. Let's see. Somebody asked about team rules. We kind of went over that already. How many members on a team, alternates? David Morris, are the teams randomly picked? Or are they loaded up? So they're created as you want to create them, right?
Yeah. Owner, guy decides he wants to make a team. Either himself becomes owner or he gets a partner and they both co-own. And then they go out and they draft, like pretty much build their team. And you run your team as owner, you run your team how you want to. So like you come up with how you want to do your payouts for your team or whatnot. But it's just, basic rules, just 10-man team. There's a end to when you can add players so that, if you're going to the championship, you can't just, hit up Ewing and be like, hey, man.
That was happening before in KFL, right?
I don't know.
That was, no, I'm not asking you. I'm telling you.
Hey, Tennessee, was it Tennessee Shiners? They rode Ewing like a broke pony. He carried the squad, son. You'd look on the leaderboard and it would be like 9 Ewing fish, and somebody else caught a 12.
No, I remember the KFL double dipped with the tournament on Dardanelle, and all of a sudden the team had like Cody Milton and Drew Gregory and all these guys.
That was
came out of nowhere.
That was it. Yeah, those late additions.
They done drafted them down from the Canadian League out of nowhere.
I can neither confirm nor deny if that happened in the KFL. Yeah. It ain't happening in the KBT.
So in the KBT, what's the NIL situation like? You guys good over there on that?
It took me about 3.5 seconds to figure out what you was even saying, Jeff.
I'm just playing.
Me too.
No,
I was in the same boat.
In all seriousness, how is the sponsor momentum on y'all's side? That after 23, you kind of had to not throw it together, but you're in a rush, right? You already said it, coming with things in January and fishing so quickly. But now you've got a product. What's the momentum like going into this year with sponsors and trying to grow teams and things?
Well, I think we're in talks now. We got like 3 or 4 trying to finalize some things on it. One of the things our goals too is like this is a marathon, right? Yes, we have to be operational for next year, but I think the one thing to keep in mind is our weekly payouts are determined by the team buy-ins. So a lot of what the major sponsorship money goes towards now is going to be our championship events, some of the operational stuff, Tourney X fees, things like that. So, we're in a position we feel like we can get teams on board. The payouts are going to happen, and then it's a big ship to steer. Like ultimately, we want to be, like I said, if you're not going to be one of the best, why even try, right? But you got a lot of moving parts, right? It's one thing to have these events for solo, but when you got teams involved, you got a lot of voices, a lot of opinions, a lot of great intentions, but you got to hone it in.
A lot of opinions.
Yeah.
So for folks that aren't familiar with the setup here, as far as team buy-ins and that kind of thing, explain what it looks like for a team owner and then the guys coming on the team to fish. Like who's paying what's going where. You don't have to get into specifics, but just generally speaking, like what are the upfront expenses? What is the team buy-in? What's each team putting up, to be able to fish this series?
Rob, you want to take that? You want me to take it?
I'll take part of it. I can tell you, I'll take part of it because I'm just going to talk about how I run my team, or how we do it for Norfolk. I tell guys, I don't have a full team. I don't have 10 guys on my team right now. I got 7, and I tell them whether we got the sponsorship money to put in for the team buy-in, which is $1,400. I think there's talks for it to be different for next season, but right now, this season and going forward right now, it's $1,400 for the team. I told them whether we got the sponsorship money to cover the team buy-in or not, each player is going to put in a certain amount. Usually, I think this season it was $150. And basically what that meant for me was like, I didn't want a guy to be like, I'm with the team, I'm doing it. And then, life happens. I'm in the military. Quite a few guys in my team were in the military. Say we're out to sea, we can't fish. And we need the other players who are, I won't say bench players, but somebody else to come in and fish. And then somebody's just like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. I just quit. I don't want to be on the team no more. Now
you want them to have skin in the game. You want them skin in the game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So if you got money to put in, most people ain't gonna just put money in and not put effort into doing it. So I told the guys, you're gonna put in $150 as well as myself, and we go after our sponsors. Really, your goal is to get sponsors. Non-endemic are the ones, really. They're where you're going to get your bang for your buck, is get those non-endemic sponsors. And I have a number set as a team owner that I want to get at least $6,000 total in our team bank account to cover the whole season, which is the buy-in and then gas and lodging for when we have to go down and fish against other guys. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, and if you can pull that off now you're really talking. You got a really good value proposition now, because if you can win a little bucks off the just winning the event, but now you've got all your expenses covered. Now you're talking. Makes it a lot more fun.
So
and there's teams
are
who
y'all
do it
still
straight.
doing the coverage part, like the live cover? Like I know one of the more entertaining parts, sometimes it was funny, sometimes it was cringe, but was the live coverage part of the events. You know, people trying to, you know, go live on their phones or whatever. What's the give back for the sponsors in this deal?
Dave, you can take that one.
That's 100%. You know, we had a kind of a postseason meeting. That we have to improve there 100%. You know, because it's not where it needs to be. We know that. The goal is to get there. I think we're looking at a blended, you know, whether it's a live event during the day or, you know, supplementing that with some kind of like, you know, post-game show. You know, I think the one thing we did well, you know, some of the regions did it on their own. Like we would do a pre and post-game show with our guys in Virginia teams. The Florida teams did an excellent job. You know, they both with their pre and post game shows and live streaming, but we got to bring that into one brand. You know, it's got to be consistent. It's got to be cohesive. And I think that's the next step for us. That's the key. You know, everybody can do it on their own, but we got to have that cohesive branding again to attract those big dollar sponsors that we want.
Yeah,
live coverage. To alarm any one of y'all, but somebody's about to get hit by a train right now.
That's me. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
As long as you know, I don't want to be the guy that just watched it happen and didn't say anything.
It's a mile and a half away, believe it or not.
Okay.
So that's a great answer. We attempted it, you know, but we were bad as a league with guys actually coming on live and
it's tough
getting that content out there.
Well, service is spotty in a lot of play, and that was one of the things. You know, I mean, obviously, I'm sitting here scrolling through some crap on Facebook on Saturday. I click on it, me and the 6 other people, and you know, somebody doesn't have service, or you got a guy standing up in front of the phone and it's just like a straight crotch shot, flipping bushes or something. Like, I think there is and we've talked about this, I think there is definitely a place for live contact. People love watching fishing. Like you know, we watch the elites, we watch MLF. People like to watch the live action happening. I think service is a big deal, and then filling in the gaps, right? Because as you know, fishing, you may get a bite once every 3 hours on some of these lakes. Like, you got to do something. Talk to the camera, keep people involved. I think the engagement part is the trick on the live streaming.
Yeah, and I think Dave said it already. What standardization? How are you going to be set up? What camera shot you going to have? What's the minimum signal you're going to have before you even try to go live? Don't try to do it if you're sitting on 1 bar of 4G. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So I think you got the right idea, heading in the right direction. And maybe I've said this for Hobie, Bassmaster, all of them. If they could get some sort of repository for GoPro footage and make some sort of highlight reel.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that was something we talked about in the team in the owners meeting as well.
If you could have people just edit their own stuff down, they don't have to fully edit it, but just take out clips, like a few, you know, fish catch clips, and put in a Dropbox and throw it together. Like, that would be, you know, weekly or bi-weekly, however often you have those matches, just to put out as, you know, a teaser, just some kind of social media content on it.
Ryan, I've never banned anyone from the live stream, but I'm not going to take Android slander in the chat.
I completely support his statement. My daughter, I was working in Memphis, and one of my doctors out there, Dr. Dishman, I was telling my daughter, like, he keeps up with volleyball stuff.
Could you say that name again, Ryan?
Dr. Dishman.
Oh, okay.
What? Yeah. I was like, do you know Dan? I'm sorry. I'm not trying to offend you at all.
I thought you said something else.
Same proctologist.
I thought you said something else.
You're going to get us kicked off the whole internet tonight. I knew we shouldn't have had you on, Robert.
I'm not on the toilet, so we're good.
Well, do we know that yet? I don't know. You hadn't stood up. We're still at it.
Shoo! That scared me for a second.
Anyhow, he has an Android, and she said, send him that video of me shooting a pistol. I said, baby, he can't, you know, he'll see it all blurry. He's got an Android. And she said, he's a doctor and has an Android? Like, he can't afford an iPhone out of anybody?
Android for life.
Funny.
Oh, Jeff, buddy.
Yeah.
That's funny.
We'll buy you a KBN company phone.
What a problem with Apple phones, man, is they tend to overheat.
When? Who said that? The first one? iPhone 1? Which one overheated?
My iPhones are like Hobie users. It's a cult.
Man,
I'm not saying. I mean, I got an iPhone myself.
you
I've
ain't
never-
converting me to an Android, Jeff. I'll tell you, you might have
Come
got
on,
me in
Ryan.
Old Town. You ain't
Come
put
over.
me in a damn Android.
Come over to the dark side. That's awesome. Any more questions for the Kayak Bass Team Series guys? Somebody asked earlier, what is Brad Case's role? He's in the comments.
saw
Is
that,
he
yeah.
is he like the Roger Goodell of the KBT? What's his deal over there?
That's actually pretty good.
El Presidente, yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, Brad's kind of the spearhead, just kind of make sure things are moving. And like I said, we got currently 4 regional reps. We're actually going to expand to another region with the Northeast coming back for 2024. So we'll have 5 regions with the reps rolling up. And yeah, I mean, it seems to work. It helps. Like I said, we didn't have a lot of issues. I mean, especially in the East, like 0 issues, Rob, that I know of. These are pretty smoothly. We just said, show up and fish, have a good time, and we did. So, but yeah, that's Brad's MO there. He's done a lot of work behind the scenes too. Just putting the feelers out for sponsorships, things like that. I mean, we're a couple months into it.
I love our comment section, man. Nick, you can't.
Walmart greeter.
You can't beat it, baby. Holy.
You guys are the best. Our one
Where's y'all's
pitcher showed up,
championship
Ryan.
at? Are y'all coming back to the Tennessee River next year? Robert, I don't want you that close to my house and we don't get to hang out again. I don't want that to happen. I'll tell you.
I tried to hit you up, bro.
I know. Too late. Too little. Too late. You got.
Yeah, you right.
You got to
You're
give
right.
me some advance notice.
I was trying to get the money, get the spot, so I can get some lunch money.
Man, there's a couple out there. Looks like you did all right. You just had that trophy up in your lap. Don't act like you didn't find them.
Oh, that fell off the shelf.
Oh.
No, it was fun, man. I mean, it was weird because we literally we dropped the hammer pretty quick. We had 175 inches like in the first hour and a half, something like that, as a team. And so, but I was like, dude, this is Gunnersville. 17-inch average ain't gonna do nothing, But 18-inch average won it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
stuff.
I mean, we've talked about this on a lot of different lakes. If you look at the averages that win out of all the national tournaments, it's usually about like an 86 or 87-inch average for the most part. If you look at the kind of the whole body of the series, it's usually not that big. We do have some outlier tournaments. Obviously, you got BDH going out there. He'll hang up 204 every now and then, but
Yeah.
for the most part, you're looking at an 87-inch average that's cashing good checks in these things.
Did you fish the Hobie one on Seminole when he hung up that 204 inches? Yeah, I was there. I was
Sure
mad.
did.
Yeah.
Sure, I did a lot more cornholing and consumption in that tournament
Consumption?
than I did catching the old basses on that deal. I covered a lot of. I went way up the Flint River, like way up to the top until I saw some kind of federal sign hanging across the creek there.
Did you hear banjos?
You should have
I
just said you
didn't,
see
but
it,
I
Ryan.
called the TD and I was like, I thought you said I could fish up here. He said, you can. I said, no, there's a metal freaking rope running across the creek that says, you'll be federally prosecuted if you cross this line.
Jesus.
If
Felt
you
like
if
that
you'd have
was it
said
for
that
me.
you couldn't see it, would they have let you off the hook? Not arrested
I
you?
mean, I don't know. I always err on the side of caution. I don't ever try to overstep those bounds. I may overstep some others, but not those.
Hey, for real, there's a few like on Dardanelle. There's a spot like that, and I'm talking about the sign is hidden by like overgrowth of bushes and everything else. So you better know it's there, or you'll never see it. But
I hope I never see Dardanelle again.
You could have just got up there and skipped your baits underneath it.
I could have, man. I don't know. I turn around and run from that stuff. I feel like there's 30 people in the bushes watching everything I do anyway.
Yeah.
So,
There usually is.
I know. I'm not the one to try that. I know where I'm at.
Yeah, and being in the position that we're in with the call outs that we do, I don't think we should be in the gray areas, Ryan.
Yeah, you guys can't get away with
I'm
nothing.
fine with taking the L, baby. Don't.
As soon as there's probably 7 pictures of you in that old town already floating around.
Dude, my dad texts me and he's like, "You out there by the turbines?" And I was like, "What in the hell?" And I was like, I literally went out for 45 minutes this afternoon just to test this boat. And I was like, "How do you know that?" And he's like, "I see you." And I was like,
Got you in the
Where
crosshairs.
are you? Like, I'm up here in the river. Where are you? Yeah, they're out there.
That's good stuff.
I think right now the championship. Just to answer your question, your original question, we're looking at yeah. I think we're looking at Cato right now.
Ooh.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, that'll be
Hello.
good. That'll be a fun one.
Yeah.
I'll meet y'all at the lighthouse. I won't fish the tournament, but I'll meet you at the
I'm
lighthouse.
gonna have to call Garrett and get on the sub with the hogs or something.
There you go.
If I can get to
I
go
mean,
to
El Presidente is against it. For some reason he hates Cato, but
Really?
he's pitching Bistino.
Oh, well, no, there's not a reason. It's not that he hates Cato. Bistino in the fall is on the drawdown, and all those fish are packed in one little ditch.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That'll be nasty if it's on Bistino. I'd
Let's get
probably
30
open up
guys in a
both.
puddle. That sounds like fun to me.
I mean, I'll probably open up both, but I definitely see why Brad is pitching Bistino on that one.
So I heard there's a KBN team in the mix for KBT 2024.
No,
We're right here, baby. We're right here. 2V10. Let's go. We'll take that out of the marketing budget for next year, Jeff.
You never know. We might
It'll be
sponsor
3V10. Don't forget about Jordan.
Yeah. Oh, we're definitely plugging Marshall. Me and Jeff ain't even gonna go to the damn tournaments. We just gonna turn road dogs loose down there.
you, Jordan, Bob Baylor, Conrad. We could put together a super team.
Bob, y'all got to put a tournament up there on Okoboji up there by the van, or Bob ain't showing up.
He come down, team van. We'll wrap his van for him. KBN.
When you said that, Jeff, man, it made me think of that meme that Greg did for Conrad when he was in the swamp running around in his underwear.
Oh no. That was one of the side effects of COVID. Was that whole thing? We don't need that again.
That was hilarious. That was a good little run we had on KBN there when Conrad just came in, like Miley Cyrus, son, just swung right in there and started talking trash.
My favorite though was Russ's meme on Conrad when he was Conan and he was holding Conrad's head.
Oh yeah. I got you. I forgot about that.
I did forget about that.
Didn't that one win meme of the year for you guys that season?
I don't know, man. I can't remember last year.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug, man.
I'm telling you, we got Dontrell talking about he remembers
You
what
got the
Guillermo.
feds knocking on your door in a minute. Right?
I gotta go to work tomorrow, man. They'll probably just piss test me.
Wow. What branch you in? Navy?
Water.
Yeah, I'm Navy, man.
You're good. Dontrell. Sorry, man. Hey, Dontrell said, "You remember what Guillermo did on Bistino? Y'all remember that? He smashed him when that water.
Yeah, I remember that.
Down there on
Yeah.
Bistino.
Wrecked him.
I mean, him and Cody. They didn't win them.
This turned out to be a very entertaining back half of the show here.
Yeah, it did. I knew it would. I had Robert on before talking KFL back in the day. Who was on with you that night, Robert?
I remember.
It was old boy from not Paddle and Fin, but
It was Daniel, wasn't it? Perry?
Yeah.
it was Perry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun one that night too. Ryan was out that night, I believe. But that was
he was out that night.
That was a fun one. Well, you guys are doing it right. It sounds like fun. So, good show tonight, Ryan. We're talking two different unique formats, I'd say, and both of them making the changes that need to be made. So I think things are looking up. What do you think?
I do. No, again, I think building the product before you get the hype train rolling is for me the best difference that I've seen in the change. I like it.
Hey, and Robert, for years, Brian and I catch hell saying if it ain't Bassmaster or Hobie, we don't give a damn. So we want to change that. Are we back on the good side of the KBT over here?
Hell yeah, man.
All right,
only if he's winning. Only
right.
if he's winning. I thank y'all both for coming on. Dave, I hope you're not too cold out there. I saw them fingerless gloves on your hands.
I'm good, man. I'm good. Hey, I was going to say, I got 3 kids at home that are already in the Christmas spirit, so I would have been locked in the toilet if I didn't come out here. So
can we forget about
my losses?
We're not. No, we'll probably replay that clip tomorrow just so everybody goes back and watches this episode.
There's quite a few people who bought that damn towel, too.
Oh, man. All right, gentlemen, appreciate y'all. Appreciate the info. Everybody go check out Kayak Bass Team Series. Good stuff.
All right, man.
Congrats on getting on the win, Robert, man. Good job.
Thanks, bro.
Yes, sir.
There we go. That was a great one, Ryan. That was a fun show.
Oh, man.
I seriously like what both outfits have going on right now.
Robert is hilarious. Like
Oh,
I wanted to go hang out with him in Gunnersville so bad. Like he is hilarious. I'm glad that came on for sure.
All right, let's see here. We got the giveaway, the Yak Addicts giveaway. Y'all already know the drill.
Don't make it obvious.
I did make it obvious.
God,
But nobody cheated it.
No,
One
they
person.
did. I saw one earlier. I was gonna say I saw one earlier.
One person cheated. We had a huge show tonight. I wasn't sure if people, abandoned us after taking a week off, but they were in there. We were over 100 all night.
No, that's good.
And I wasn't counting the tweeters or the rumblers over there.
I feel like they missed us, Jeff. I feel like they missed us.
Yeah. We are like low key getting a lot of views on Rumble.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know. If you're on Rumble, comment on the Facebook page just so we know.
We can't pull the comments from there, but we're getting, I mean, it's not giant, but I mean, we're getting, several hundred views per episode over there.
Really?
Yeah.
That's solid. Go Rumble.
Yeah. We don't have a lot of subs, but we have a lot of views. So maybe it's all bots, but I'll take it.
I'm not even on Rumble, so I have no idea what any of it is.
Yeah. It's like great value YouTube,
That's fair.
Yeah.
All right. Little Dollar General action.
Yeah. Yeah. It's that best choice YouTube. So that's what it is.
Oh, Laura Lynn, little Laura Lynn YouTube.
Yeah. We got a lot of Yak Addicts in the comments. I got me some new shirts coming, Ryan. Those are my favorite shirts. Those Yak Addict shirts that I have.
We're getting all kinds of hashtags.
We're getting Norfolk. What's that
Slayer
say?
Nation. We got a couple different spellings. We're all over the place.
Addicts of Yak. We got to get to the bottom of this no payment thing because I just kind of learned of it before we went live. I don't know any details, but that's no good if that's what's going on.
Well, we had it come in. I don't know. Like I said, I mean, probably a month or a month and a half ago. But again, man, like we're not the police. Like we're not, any kind of legal entity. We can't do anything. So if you're fishing tournaments, I don't care who it is. I don't care what, host it is that's running the show. If you are fishing tournaments and not getting paid, you as an angler that's owed money should do something about it. They have your money. You want your money. That's a fraudulent deal. So, do something about it. Don't DM me. I'm sorry. I'm not a lawyer.
Yeah, straight up. But for the most part, the organizations that have failed to pay are known. So it's kind of like, if you know that there's a bear on a certain street that will eat you if you walk down that street, and then you go down that street anyway, it's kind of like, come on, man, what are you doing?
But as a tournament organization, to pay your anglers.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, mail them checks, send them cash in an envelope. Just get them paid, make them whole. That's the deal.
Pretty simple. It seems pretty simple. Seems like the All-American guys have it figured out. Cash in, cash out. Pretty simple.
Yep.
All right. You want to do this giveaway, man? Hey, is the sale still going over there? All through?
It is.
Like,
yeah.
Okay.
I left it through the end of the month. Yeah.
All right. So Yak Addicts gear. Is that the
half
name?
off. We got
Yeah,
performance shirts, hoodies, kayak cushions, hats, t-shirts, pasties, whatever you're looking for.
Yeah. I mean, I could have begged Ryan for a free handout, and I still went over there and ordered some. It's such a good deal. So there you go.
That's right. That's right. When I am cutting all the way into profit margin, it's a great deal. So take these shirts out of my house.
Joe Mack, stop being all logical. What if it's 50-50 on getting eaten and it's the easiest route on the bear question? Come on, man. Don't make it go.
Man, I don't know if you ever seen a bear attack, but I ain't on that one.
All right. We about to do this, y'all. Who's getting slow rolled tonight? It's my favorite part.
Josh said only the KBN stuff was discounting. You got the discount on the Yak Addict stuff you ordered. Yeah,
I got it all.
Yeah, he got it.
Rolando.
Oh,
the
baby.
fishing professor, Rolando.
I love it. Rolando, send me your mailing address, good sir, and what size you need, and I'll send you a shirt and a hat.
There we go. Man, what a comeback week. That was after a week off. That was a great show to come back to. That was fun.
They thought we were gone, Jeff. They thought we were gone.
You can't keep a good man down. Something
Little
like that.
did they know we were just old town and up over here in the
That's
corner.
it. Team OT for life. Android's next.
No, you're getting an iPhone now. I took your kayak. Now
Hey, look.
you get my phone.
I do have a work iPhone. Does that count?
See? Give me that number. I'm tired of green text.
All right, y'all. We'll see y'all next week with somebody.
Somebody.